So another Saturday night at the office. Woo! Just the party not stopping. This is the brake caliper, and there is the leak that we have. So before we get too greasy and get dirt on everything, we just want to clean everything off nice. So I'm trying cleaner, paintbrush, and then a steam clean to rinse. So we'll see how we do here. Sure has worked well on other parts. I want to see how it does on the steering too. I don't really want to use heavy cleaners on this. With all the nice rubber parts still intact and in good shape.
For now.
Really, honestly, I'm not interested in taking this all apart. Not unless I have to. And I don't think I have to. We drove the car. It drives fine. So. There's a lot of little inspection paint on this thing, eh? Everything's got a blob of some color on it.
Galen, eat your heart.
Yeah, that's right. Level up 3 Galens. Yeah, don't OG it. Okay. Let's let that soak while we get some steam brewing in the steamer. And then we'll try rinsing some of this up. Wow, these big huge bumpers.
Good.
Getting fun to lean on. It's good for your back. What do we got here?
That sundish plugged in somewhere?
Oh, there she goes. It's pretty hard to see what you're doing pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
It does clean stuff that would be almost impossible to clean with any other technique. I'm going to paint these headlight mounting units here. They're not originally painted, but they are so faded that I don't think they would look up to the rest of the job if I didn't. So I'm only going to paint the front. The back you don't see, and I don't really think that painting that would make it any better. I'm just going to paint the part you see at the front here. They're in good enough condition, but they're not really adding to it. It looks like they're a glass reinforced kind of plastic, not a polyester, not like fiberglass, but a reinforced plastic. Anyway, Citroen not afraid to use interesting materials in their cars ever. But in this case, they have faded and will not really be up to the rest of the car, I think. So I'm just going to quickly dust those with some semi-gloss black, and hopefully that'll make it all look a little nicer. Okay. That is starting to come together. So, carry on with these damaged ones. This guy still needs a fair amount of tidying. The worst of it is done there. This is all coming back together rather nicely. Hello, fraggers. What do you think? Just want to play ball? Fingers on busy. Sorry, fingers on busy. Go get it. Don't crash into everything. Okay, well, this is the last of the lenses that has to come out, and they're difficult. This is not easy. It's probably at least an hour each one to get them out of here. And there we go. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, that is a relief. That is a relief. Put them in the little safety box here. So, that is, if it was only one or two and there was just that little bit on the bottom, I probably wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's the, this is the kind of the problem, right? Somebody had them apart and rattle canned them over the top of the rust and kind of just made everything worse. So for sending these out to be redone, we might as well send out all of them. I had one chromed, but the finish is not the same. Kind of hard to see here, but their finish is not quite the same, and apparently using chrome does not work. So I have found a place that does this kind of thing. There you can see the difference in the finish. It's more obvious, I think, in person than through the camera, but they will have to go long distance to get, this is like a silvering, I think they call it silver. I don't know if it's actual silver, but it's much more reflective than chrome, which I did not know. And it's certainly going to be better than rattle can rusty garbage. So the score then seems to be Local Derelict 5, Vengeful Deity 1. I did not include the footage of me breaking this because it's just too much sadness. So yeah, since that was apparently a major mistake, this one had been taken apart and glued in with about 1 inch of silicone, and I just about had it out, and I lifted on the one corner and it just sheared right off. So, oop, and there you have it. Looks like the old crazy glue didn't really work, not that I was expecting much out of that. So, you can see a phone call to SM World in California, and Jerry set me up for a slight increase on my credit card balance. Look at that. It is in beautiful shape. Thank you, sir. Saving the day. These headlights are very, very difficult to find, as it turns out. Not that I really didn't think they were, but they're actually more difficult than I even thought. So we are being very careful with this. I don't even like having it out in the open. Let's just get that put away. What else did we do? Oh yeah, the headlight buckets turned out actually better than I even hoped. They look really, really nice. They look brand new. So that was, I think, a good idea. That is a catalyzed two-part urethane matte finish, so it should not fade or give trouble. And that's how I want those to look. Obviously that's not where they sit, but whatever. So front of the car now. The front of the car is in primer now, so we're actually at the point where we're going to have to pick a color and start painting the car, or at least a few of these pieces, because this has to all get painted before it goes together. And I think that has something to do with why the front end of every SM was painted silver regardless of the color of the rest of the car. So I'm going to assume, in the case of silver SMs, that the front was painted the same silver. I think if I painted it a different silver and then painted the rest of the car silver, it would probably look like, it would probably look wrong. Anyway, the things that you learn, eh? So now the front end is starting to come together. I am hopeful. These all have to be repaired now because it takes a certain amount of harshness to get them apart. So yeah, next on the agenda, repair all of these so that they can be reinstalled as soon as the replating is done, and then finish the bumper. The bumper has not been polished, or there's a little ripple in it here. I may take it right here or here. I don't know, I circled it somewhere. Yeah, there's a couple of tiny dings I may play with or may not, I don't know. And then polish that and put it all back together. And yeah, so the front end, again, the biggest part of the job, I think, even including taking the quarters off, I don't think will be as big a job as getting all that to work. Update on the hydraulic system, really looking nice now. Still broken, but at least clean and ready to be worked on. That will be something we'll be tackling here pretty soon. This is the pan that goes underneath the engine, kind of keeps the brakes clean. I found a good one. The one that came with the car, it was damaged and the rotor had worn right through it, so this is a better one. It was badly dented but not so badly worn through. So yeah, a lot of the smaller pieces still to be done. These are coming along now. Needed a lot. There's all of this was covered in undercoating and just looked terrible. So unfortunately, the original anodizing is long gone. So I'm going to probably, I don't know. This is all very, very much hidden underneath and inside everything else, so it's not a big deal, but I may do something with the finish. Fresh from SM World again, the Lexan reproduction headlight covers. They're very nice. They look exactly, as far as I can see, like the originals. And so those have arrived, and that's very exciting. So we some people were asking for have a look at what's up with the SM, and that's what's up. This is also part of the headlight steering stuff. It's quite badly damaged, so that's going to get cleaned up. This, we're missing one of these babies, so I'll either be on the phone begging for one, or maybe we try to make something like this. Whatever. Miniature dog. Beep, beep. How's it going? Shake. Oh, are you too sleepy? A few more things to tidy up under here, and then we can start putting stuff back together. Got a leak in the hydraulics for the brake down there somewhere. We've got to upgrade this fitting here Apparently they will eventually wear through here because of the direction change, and then it just leaks out all your hydraulic fluid very quickly. So that's going to get upgraded. Obviously every piece of rubber is getting replaced. We can't have any rotten old shit here. I see now that I finished painting the headlight buckets that I didn't paint these. I'm not very happy with myself about that. Totally forgot about them. Now I have to go mix paint again. Way to go. Nicely done. Here's the broken hydraulic slave cylinder. So we're going to have to find some way of sorting this out. Yeah. What do you think, Frankers? Are you having fun today? Let's go outside. I had to actually pull the old cycle out and fire it up the other day. Did some bare minimum maintenance, and it's good for another year, I think. I think I'm going to replace the brake hoses. Exciting stuff. Should we just go mow the lawn? What do you want to do today? Oh, are you playing with your toy? What a good girl. Dad's playing with his toy too. I'm playing with my toy. You go play with your toy. Today we're playing with trying to fix the hydraulic headlight steering thing for the SM, and you can see where's the other cylinder that's not broken. This one. That's what that is supposed to look like, and this is what we have. We also have this damaged unit here. I've cleaned up some of this just to see what we're going to do with it. I'm going to try to get these fittings out from inside the hose. It's so old and brittle and just hard. I'm going to cut it here, and then we're going to maybe I don't know, maybe we'll try warming up the hose to ease fitting it back together, because, oops, I guess that worked. We're gonna cut that with a razor right there, and we're gonna try and glue these fittings into here and then push the hose back on, and if we do it right, we should only be less than half an inch shorter than it was when we started. So that's hoping, because there's not a lot of room to play around with this. It's all pretty you know, fussy. I prepped the SM headlight turning thing. What I did was just turn down the brass fittings a tiny bit so that they would fit in just a tiny bit further and kind of lock in there. The tape and the tubes is so I don't get any adhesive where it doesn't want to be. This one at the top I think is the bleeder plug, so I managed to get that out. And now we're going to mix up some urethane auto body bumper repair type of glue, and try to build up this entire area to hold these in. And if that works, we can put it back together, I hope, and then try and bleed it out. That's the plan. Let's try it. Well, it's not pretty, but I have no reason to believe that that won't hold it. This urethane two-part is pretty tough, and it has just enough flexibility. I don't know, we made it as tough as we could. We'll just have to see how it goes. Obviously I'm going to be pretty careful putting it together. The bleeder, oops, bleeder on the top here is just lightly pushed in here just for now. Now we have to just fit that back together. We do have one problem here. That has a there's a spacer in there that comes almost right to the end that I'd like to see it shortened to there. But it doesn't look like a very easy thing to get apart, so I don't know exactly what we're going to do there. But I'm going to look at that, and what else seems to be the problem? Looks to me like the one hose, one hose might have to be shortened, no? Or pulled through? I don't know. We're going to have to look into that. There's still some work to be done here. Oh, it looks like originally the two of them would have sat more or less parallel with each other, and now we have the bottom one is substantially shorter. The plastic tubing that slides over them is so old and so hard that you'll never get that over top of there again. So I've cut it back just to get it apart, and now I need to slide it back over there. So I tried with a lighter, but it just burns it and doesn't work well at all. So we're going to try boiling the hoses. Turn to page 7 in your SM service manual and about boiling the hoses for the headlight steering things. So yeah, it's going to be it's all or nothing for this project now, because we're approaching hour 200 on the front end of this car. Where's Puppy Dog gone?
She's here.
Oh, there she's underneath the car. Hi, Minnie.
Hey, buddy.
Are you being good today?
I was trying to do.
I was trying to be good, and then you guys interrupted my goodness. We're just gonna have to go for it. Okay, well, this is it. If not,
There's no plan B.
There is no plan B, so this is the fucking plan. Yeah. Following the FIFA approved refill technique. Okay. These are problems you don't have with a Camaro. Well, we are getting somewhere. Seems to be holding. This is still pretty empty looking. Oops. Okay, let's test the headlight thing. Hit it. Okay, well, and all the gloopy repairs seem to be holding. Let's see if it goes. Try this end. See, can you get it? Yeah, I don't know about this thing. I'm not sure I trust it. Oh, I see what's happening here. Hang on. I think it needs to remain under tension there, because when it's installed in the car,
It will be, won't it?
it won't be ever left free flow. There will always be pressure on here. So maybe that's why it's so tight. But I don't see any leaks, which is... Okay, well that is one more step on the...
Throw it on. Throw it in.
Throw it at it.
Throw it at it.
Let's just put it back on the roof, I think. You know, like, I think in a lot of ways that the DSM is, you know, undeservedly mocked for being unnecessarily complicated, but in the case, I think, of this particular system, it deserves to be slightly like, this is a bit fucking stupid. I'll have to bleep that really, you know, this is unnecessarily flashy, non-engineering, I think. So, I mean, I don't think it's a very great system. What can you say? It still works, right? Somehow. Like, how do these rubbers still work? You know, so I will, whatever, it's worth a shot. That was one of the shittiest repairs, I think, on the car. Like, there's a lot of hours just in making that look decent, right? This was all just a mess. Okay, I'm gonna put it back somewhere out of the way because this is quite stupid.
Calling that done till it goes on the car.
Yeah, I think at this point we're gonna call that as put it with the fans here under things that are kind of waiting to go on. Use your car as a shelf. That's an important garage tip. Always use your project itself as a shelf for the parts for the project. That way, sort of pre-sands your car a bit. What else is left? Just everything? Go beat Dean with a stick so he'll stop buying LTDs.
Yeah, and Lincolns.
Come on. There you go.
Oh,
Come on, beat him.
oh,
Yeah, hit him. Hit him, Frangers. Get him. Get him. There. Oh, there you go. Whack him.
oh, vicious. I'm sorry.
You get him, Frankers. Hit him. Hit him until he doesn't buy any more LTDs. Oh, she's getting him now, eh? Good girl. Take me through the Dodge process, Dean. What are we doing here?
The ODG. O to the D to the G. It doesn't matter. It's fine. As long as we can get it running.
Well, we should get it running. We have done a few of these 6-cylinder Dodge cars. It's not really going to be too much of a brain buster.
Yeah, man. It's going to be perfect.
Dean, you kind of remind me of like those interviews with Ozzy where he's so drunk and high that he's falling asleep at the interviews.
I'm like, what? Right.
Remember those? You ever seen that?
I think so.
And he's just mumbling. He's like, woof, woof, and they're like, Ozzy. I'm getting off the plane where he's been just getting shittered all day.
That guy's so awesome.
He is the best.
I love it. It's a big clip, hey? Remember back when we were kids? School?
Uh-huh.
That's what the teachers used, I think.
Yeah? Did they put it in your hair to get you to settle down?
I never had
Did you
it.
get a lot of shit in school, Dean?
Sometimes, yeah. I got chalk thrown at me and
Oh yeah? Chalk thrown at you for what?
for disrupting the French class.
Disrupting. Doesn't seem like you. Were you a clown, perhaps?
I mean, everyone
Like
laughed.
spitballs or what?
Yeah.
Hey?
What's that?
Spitballs your thing? Destruction? Or just
that's
like,
so, that's so
just
fun.
like, hey?
Oh no, I was always fair to the kids, you know.
What are you trying to do?
Not the teacher.
He's a regular contributor.
Same old shit.